In this video, I'm going to show you how to put these GT500 base wheels on this 2016 Mustang GT. Hey guys, welcome to Oxman Garage. Make sure you like and subscribe if you want to see more Mustang content just like this. So in today's video, we're working on Project Fobra. That's a 2016 Mustang GT Convertible that we are going to transform into a GT500 clone convertible tribute. So we're going to be putting these GT500 wheels on Project Fobra. These are base wheels. These are 20-inch by 11, and we have some new shoes. We have tires up front and back ready to mount on these with new tire sensors that will work with the 2015 to 2023. So if you have a base model, an EcoBoost, or a GT Mustang, and you want to sport some base GT500 wheels from the 2020 to 2022 Mustang Shelby GT500, I'm going to show you step by step how I'm going to put these on my car. Alright guys, well before I show you the wheels and tires, really quick, I did some research on Google and the Facebook groups, and I feel it's really hit and miss on whether guys said that these wheels fit on their base EcoBoost or GT models. We had one guy that had no problem, putting them on. It was a perfect fit. And then there's another guy saying they don't even fit at all because maybe up in the front the wheel was rubbing up on the suspension components right there. So it's kind of hit and miss. So it's kind of up to you to do your research whether or not these are going to fit. And there's a lot of factors, whether you have different suspension components, lowering, more camber, the way that the alignment is set up on the car. So it really depends on your setup, and you need to get this on jack stands or up on a car lift and really test fit the wheels and then bring them down weight on wheels and see how everything is going to fit inside of the wheel wells. So we're going to show you the wheels and the tires, and we're going to get the car up on the lift, and we're going to show you all the clearances and anything that we need to do to make them fit. All right, so let's check out these wheels and tires. I bought this set in Minnesota for $900. It came off of a 2022 Shelby GT500, and they're in really good shape. A couple nicks on the lip right here, not too bad, but I can live with those nicks and just do some touch-up paint. But I got these for $900. I took the old tires off and actually sold them. I sold the rears for $100, and then I sold the fronts for $100 too. So I made $200 of my money back. So you knock that down to $700. I currently have the tire pressure sensors on eBay for $100. So who knows? Maybe I can make another $100, and this whole thing would have been $600. That's not too bad. So the fronts up here are normally a 20 by 11 with a 32 millimeter offset, but I went and took these to Weldcraft Wheels in Detroit, Michigan, and I had them take 1 inch off to narrow it to a 20 by 10, because if you do your research, Facebook groups or on the Mustang forums, a couple guys were saying when they test fit this, it was rubbing on the suspension components on the inside of the wheel. So I just went and took care of that right away. And I was actually in Detroit, Michigan. I went to the Henry Ford Museum and I bought some more GT500 parts while I was in Detroit. So two birds with one stone, had these taken care of. It was $200 per wheel, and then the shipping back to me was about $70, so $35 per package. Not too bad. So had these narrowed, and I did a test fit already, and they're not going to rub on anything. So taking that 1 inch off helped big time, because I'm not a big wheel spacer guy. To each their own. I don't like putting wheel spacers on my cars. So here are the rear wheels, and these are a 20 by 11, so I did not have these modified at all. They're not narrowed or widened. They're completely stock. So these are a 50 millimeter offset. So right over here, we're going to show you the tires. This is a Bridgestone, and these are a really good summer performance tire. They're nice and sticky. You can see they have like all the rocks and stuff on them from shipping. But this is going to be a nice performing tire to get traction at the rear. And then right over here we have the front wheels, and these are a Continental Extreme Contact. And these are an all-season tire, but these are really good for dry and, more importantly for me, wet performance. So I really, if I get caught in a rainstorm, I mean, I'm not going to be doing any track turns or high performance stuff. I'm going to be getting home or getting somewhere where I'm not going to get rained on, because I don't like taking my Mustang out in the rain. All right, so these front tires right here, these are going to be a 285/30/20. And then the rear tire right here, that's going to be a 305/30/20. So those are going to fit on the wheel nicely for the rear, and it's going to fit lip to lip on the front. And if you, after doing your research and seeing some of the pictures from other guys, you'll see that you're going to get a little bit of poke in the fender well, and you're going to get a little bit of poke on the rear quarter. If you do have your suspension set up where you can get a little bit of camber and tuck the wheel in, you might get away with not having any poke at all, and it'll just poke on the bottom. But that's kind of up to you, because then your tires are going to wear on more on the inside of the tire. And so that's something that's up to you. It depends on if you want the look or if you want a good alignment with your camber. All right, so before we mount the tires on the front wheels, we want to protect this aluminum weld on the wheel. We don't want it to oxidize and corrode, so we really want to get a primer and a paint on there so we're protecting that weld and that bare aluminum. So we're going to mask everything up, then we're going to clean it, get some isopropyl alcohol, get the rest of that debris and dirt off of the surface, and do a nice Duplicolor primer and wheel paint. All right, so we got the wheels all painted. I have about one coat of primer. I had to sand a couple low areas, and then I have 3 coats of paint. I did do this outside, but so there are some tiny little imperfections that are in the paint, but it's not too bad. It wasn't too windy outside. We're gonna let these cure for about 24 hours, and then we're gonna drop these off at the auto shop to have them mounted and balanced. All right, so we got the wheels and tires back. They look absolutely amazing. I can't wait to get these on the car. I took these to Tire Plus near where I live, and they did a great job. You want to find a shop that can do low profile tires. There's a lot of other you know, mom and pop shops that are in your local town or village or city might not be able to do low profile tires. So make sure you call ahead first and confirm that. So, all right, let's get this on the car now. All right, so let's put this front wheel on. Should fit pretty good. Looks good. No rubbing anywhere. Got lots of room on the inside. Gonna get a little bit of poke right here with the fender. But once we get weight on wheels, we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so here's the clearance on the wheel. As you can see, I have like about an inch. This is about an inch right here before it hits the bottom of the strut right here. So if I wouldn't have taken an inch off the back, I think I would be rubbing, or it would be very, very close. All right, so this is the lug nut that came with the car. I don't know if this is factory, but it has that acorn cone style, which is gonna be okay. My concern is that the lug thread that's coming through the wheel is only gonna bite maybe 3/4 or an inch. I think that's gonna be okay. So we're just gonna put these back on. We're gonna torque them down. All right, so this checking out the clearances for the rear wheel. We got lots of clearance with the shock. Yeah, nothing is rubbing, looks pretty good. The big test is gonna be when we put weight on wheels, see if anything is gonna rub in the wheel well area. One thing to note on the back, the lug nuts are sticking out more shallow than they are in the front, where the front is more deeper. And I also, it's almost an inch of grab on those studs with the lug nuts. So you get a little bit more grab here. I personally would not recommend doing spacers on the front wheels. I think what you really need to do is just follow me over here. On the front and back, you need to get the Ford Performance hub and stud kit with ARP studs. These have longer studs right here. They're gonna accommodate those wheels. So this is what I bought because I kind of knew that that was gonna happen. But I would not recommend putting any spacers with these wheels. So I got the fronts and the backs, and they come with all the hardware and axle nuts. I'll put a link in the description where you can find that. So I would not do spacers. All right, so everything is looking really good. The big test here is going to be when we put weight on wheels to see if anything is going to be rubbing. So that's going to be the big test. I do have an aftermarket Maximum Motorsports camber alignment plate on the shock towers. I do have some negative camber to kind of help with that, the poke that's that could happen, that's going to happen, so that the poke isn't so bad going past the fender line. So yeah, we're going to get this on the ground and see if we got any rubbing. All right, so we got weight on wheels. I opened the door. I sat in the seats, just get some weight on the suspension. And in the front here, got a nice little half a finger gap right here. I have not rolled it yet to see if anything is rubbing. And then in the back, Got like maybe a finger gap right here. I do, again, have blisting shocks and lowering springs, adjustable. And I have some negative camber. So you can see right there, there's no poke on the top. It's nice and flush. Got a little bit of poke on the fronts right here, which isn't too bad. I can live with it. But man, just look at these. Oh, that looks freaking amazing. I am so excited. I just hope I don't have any rubbing. I don't want to get too excited. But everything is looking really good. Look at that tuck right there with that negative camber. Not too much negative camber to where it looks silly, but just enough to get rid of that poke. So we're going to roll this out of the garage in neutral and see if anything's rubbing that we can hear. All right, everything is looking really good. I rolled it out of the garage. I don't think I had any rubbing. A little neutral roll right there, and it nicely glided out. I think the big test here is I'm gonna go across the street. There's a little subdivision, and I'm just gonna slowly drive it around, see if I can get a couple of bumps, and see if we have any rubbing or scraping. All right. Sunglasses on so I look cool. Camera might bounce around a little bit, but we're gonna take it nice and slow. Stage 2 Roush supercharger, baby. All right, let's take it nice and slow. Those are the brakes. I need new brakes. Not bad. Let's turn the wheel. Nice. Sounds really good. I mean, I don't hear anything, so no sounds. Ooh, I'm picking up a bunch of rocks from those rear tires because they're really sticky. All right, let's do a nice lock to lock. So all the way over. Ooh, nice. No rubbing on that way. No, I didn't get a full. Here, let's try again. And lock. No rubbing. Oh, that's great. Woo-hoo-hoo. All right, let's get a couple bumps. Get a couple bumps. I'm picking up all the rocks from those sticky tires, from those Bridgestones. Yeah. Feels good. Sounds good. You guys might be sliding off my dash here. Woohoo! I think we're golden. I think we are good. I think you should probably hook up the GoPro instead of using my nice camera. Don't worry, I got you guys. All right, we're gonna get back to the house across the street, hook up the GoPro and go for a drive, try and get some bumps. All right, guys, so we went for a drive. It was about 10 miles, and we hit a couple manhole covers. We had a couple good bumps, and we have zero rubbing, zero issues with this wheel setup. It fits on here perfectly, and it just complements that GT500 clone look that we're looking for. This is going to wrap up the video. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more Fobra project videos in the future, check out the playlist because this project is not over. We still have interior upgrades. We still have big brakes. We have the Predator supercharger going on this thing. Super exciting stuff. So we got those old nasty wheels off this car, and we got the GT500 OEM wheels on here. It looks absolutely amazing. Guys, like and subscribe. Come back, see some more videos. We'll catch you on the next one. This is Josh with Oxman Garage.